Welcome back to UAA Park here in Burleigh on the Gold Coast for round 3 Host Plus Cup action. And a big thanks to our presenting partner, Supercheap Auto. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, Supercheap Auto have what you need to make it super. There is the Burleigh skipper, Saluluma, warming up, and the Burleigh Bears team. Let's have a look how both these sides will line up this afternoon. We'll start with the home team, the Burleigh Bears. Keanu Keeney at fullback, he's one to watch. Francis, Saluluma, the skipper, Pere and Toya are the back line. The halves, Tyrone Roberts, a late inclusion. He'll partner Guy Hamilton. The forwards, Pedersen Rabatti in his 50th game. The veteran Polatoni, Pere, Alick, Schwass and Costa on the bench. Sikahele, Stedman, the new recruit, Pahulu, the youngster, and Lynch. The 18th man is Casey Carey, and they're coached by Luke Burt. Their opponents today, the Recliffe Dolphins at the back, Trey Fuller, McGrady, Bostock, Tavara and Robert Jennings. The halves, Kelly and debutant Connor Williams. The forward pack led by skipper Junimus Louis, Patama, Watts, Fry, Boland and King. On the bench, Isaac Jackson, Fi, Cleo and Ryan Jackson. The 18th man is Harrison McIndoe, and they're coached by Ben Teo. The Dolphins will be wearing black armbands today to honour Ian Morton, who passed away this week. He was a Recliffe District Rugby League Football Club board member for over 20 years, and our thoughts are certainly with the family of Ian Morton, and that is why the Dolphins will be wearing their black armbands today. Here come the Burleigh Bears onto the field, followed by the Dolphins. Huge rivalry between these two sides over the years, Taylor Brown, and well, no bigger game than one that you played in 2016. Of course, it was the grand final between Burleigh and Recliffe.
Yes, it was a big day in 2016 there, September, against the Burleigh Bears at Suncorp Stadium. Unfortunately, we got pipped that day by a really good Burleigh Bears outfit. Some remnants of that side playing today. Sammy Salima was on the park, Hayden Schwass was on the park, and Jeff Lynch. So it was a really big day. The Bears got us, but quite a rivalry there spanning throughout the history.
There was Valence Tavare on screen there, the rugby convert, very much on the radar of Wayne Bennett and the NRL Dolphins. And tell her I said Wayne Bennett, not Dwayne Bennett, before you start on me. Referee for this one, Belinda Sharp, in her 63rd Host Plus Cup game.
Stay outside.
An absolute belter for your Sunday afternoon, folks. Strap yourselves in. Do not go anywhere. We're underway. And the Bears kicking off, running left to right of screen. And it will be the Dolphins with their first possession. And bringing it back for them is Nathan Watts. There's Patama at hooker, and he's handed over the captaincy this year to Junimus Louis. Will captain when Louis taking a break as a front rower. There's Benjamin King. So opening 2 hit-ups from the 2 local Dolphins juniors in Watts and King. And there was Patama with a scurry himself, and an encouraging opening set here from the Dolphins in their white alternate strip this afternoon. That was Louis, the skipper, just over the 40, and now inside the 40, the kick on the last from former NRL journeyman Albert Kelly. And here is the man to watch this afternoon, folks. Keanu Keeney, the 18-year-old out of Palm Beach, Currumbin. Titans contracted. You may have noticed him set the world on fire in some of those NRL trials he played only a few weeks ago, Taylor Brown.
Yes, he's certainly a player to look out for, Keanu Keeney. They have a really good habit of unearthing these outstanding fullbacks down there at the Burleigh Bears. Who can forget Tane Tuapiki, who's now representing the Warriors in the NRL. So some great talent out the backs come from Burleigh, and I'm sure he'll be no different.
Yes, Tane Tuapiki, a Petro Civiniceva medalist from last season, which is basically the MVP award for the Burleigh Bears. They're without him this season, but Keanu Keeney takes that #1 role as the ball coughed up there by Hayden Schwass and retrieved by Benjamin King to the Dolphins. Hit the footy, it was a hard tackle. He hit the ground hard there. It was Ben King. As the ball distributed to Robert Jennings for an early carry from the winger. They're on halfway here, Burleigh. Kelly feeds it along here to Jarrett Boland, also known as the Pencil Taylor. What's behind that nickname for Jarrett Boland?
Oh, well, he's just got the shape of a pencil, doesn't he? The long string bean, not much to him. But, one of the best blokes you'll meet, Jared Boland from the Central Coast.
Belinda Sharp
It didn't come.
calls a penalty against Burleigh here.
Yep.
So back-to-back sets for the Recliffe Dolphins, who have started the season with 2 draws, remarkably, the Recliffe Dolphins. So they're still looking for their first win this season. That's the first time it's happened in the Host Plus Cup since 2011, a team starting the season with 2 draws. That side on that occasion was Ipswich, and the only difference there is one of their games wasn't abandoned due to extreme weather.
Yeah, what are the chances? 2011, the Ipswich Jets, eh? Great stat there. Stuck on your middle.
15 away here, Patama and Louis. The 2 leaders here at the Dolphins. Kelly, early ball, 10 out. The debutant, Williams. And he feeds Jackson Fry as they edge closer and closer to the try line here, the Recliffe Dolphins. Williams, a debutant with his first touch in Host Plus Cup footy. Wrapped up by Kia Pere. Back towards the middle, Kelly, Patama. Inside to Louis again. Politoni was there for the Bears. Around the legs for Burleigh, Emre Pere. Wonderful opportunity. Last play here for Recliffe as Kelly just trickles it in behind. It's good enough for a repeat set. The chase was solid from Jack Bostock and Keanu Keeney with nowhere to go.
Yeah, beautiful set there by the Recliffe Dolphins. They had a couple of shots on the left-hand side. Moved the ball to the right hand and Albert Kelly dribbles it in, perfectly weighted, and Bostock cleans up the spoils. So great start to the game here for the Dolphins, coming off that Hayden Swass error.
And they look to go short here. Hamilton kick. Will they regather here, Burleigh? They won't. Bostock has it. But it was a knock-on, according to the referee, against the visiting Dolphins.
Where would you like it?
Yes, it's interesting, the change in rugby league that we've seen here. The short kickoffs used to be a no-go. They used to be coach killers, the short kickoffs and dropouts, but now they're such a useful tool. First saw it here in the Host Plus Cup level with the Ipswich Jets in 2015, that sort of play that took them all the way to a grand final and winning the premiership and state championship that year.
You would have played that year,
I did play that year, yes. Yes.
You're absolutely right. The Walker brothers really making the short dropout or the regather from any restart, a kickoff included, fashionable again. Or fashionable for the first time, perhaps.
That's right. Well, the ability to use that as almost an attacking weapon to get the ball back. And, you know, the North Devils actually have been known to do it in the last couple of years under Rowan Smith, and they've had some great success as well. So, yeah, it's good to see, and it's very entertaining for the fan, isn't it?
I think they call it at North's eyes up footy. So here they are, Burleigh on the 40-metre line. Hamilton will kick this perhaps just inside, maybe just a millimetre on the 40. It's going to be a 40-20 in terms of finding touch. Let's see what they rule here. I wouldn't mind seeing a replay, Taylor. I thought maybe there was a blade of grass in that one.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a Macca's replay just to see. And here is the Macca's replay now. It was a good hit up, sent Connor Williams flying in the lead up.
Did he just take that extra step at the very last moment, Taylor?
Geez, it would have been close. No, he's in. He's in. There's a good inch there. So great kick from Guy Hamilton, the halfback of the year last year for the Host Plus Cup.
He's timed it to perfection. Yeah, we'll give him that one. That was a brilliant 40-20 from Hamilton. And here come the Burleigh Bears. Jacob Alick, the 23-year-old. And now Costa. Really a mainstay now at lock forward for Burleigh, Sam Costa. Hamilton, early kick. He's got support. Hayden Schwass timed it to perfection. He almost scored. How did he not score? Politoni looping. Long pass now out to Tyrone Roberts with a crossfield kick. Saluma, the skipper. Cometh the moment, cometh the man. The captain stands tall. And Burleigh have the first try of the afternoon.
Beautiful vision here by Tyrone Roberts. He was a late inclusion into the match today and immediately stamped his authority with a great kick to the left-hand corner. Sammy Saluma doing his job, staying out there nice and wide, leaping as high as possible. But the kicking game from Burleigh has been the difference so far. Politoni knew he had to get it wide. Roberts, not too much pressure on him. He had the ability to sum it up perfectly. Placed it straight in front of Salima. And as soon as he caught that ball, he's just too big and too strong. You can't stop him that close to the try line. Beautiful work by the Burleigh Bears. Great try, Salima.
So Sammy Saluluma, the skipper with the opener, the 32-year-old, has played RL for both the Canberra Raiders and the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks along the way. And a dream start really, all off the back of that Guy Hamilton 40-20. Tyrone Roberts with the crossfield kick, so just really executing their kicking game really well early on, Burleigh, and it's paying dividends for them.
Well, that can certainly be the difference, can't it, Drury, for a really good side, is having quality halves like Guy Hamilton and Tyrone Roberts. Their back were against the wall, and that kicking game early has proven the difference, hasn't it?
Tyrone Roberts, he won the premiership last year with Norths. Finds himself as a Burleigh Bear in season 2023. And that one never looked like missing. A successful conversion thanks to Containers for Change. Convert your containers into cash donations for your club. Visit containersforchange.com.au.
Yeah, Sammy Saluma, such an important part of this Burleigh Bears team. This is actually try number 62 in his career for the Host Plus Cup, for the multiple premiership winner. Just on the conditions down here at sideline, far more pleasant than the Dolphins experienced last week in that sweat fest against the Devils. 25 degrees, showers hanging around, not too heavy at the moment, just quite annoying, but there are some dark clouds behind where the cameras are shooting with the Leagues Club. So hopefully, for my sake and the players' sake, the rain stays away.
Thank you, Adam. Yes, keep us posted on those conditions. We can see you've got the umbrella out at the moment, so that's never a good sign in terms of chance of rain. But certainly it is staying away for the moment.
Mate, poor Adam Jackson. He's got the sweltering heat last week to deal with. He's probably going to get waterlogged here at Burleigh. Can someone get some conditions for AJ?
What do you mean, poor Adam Jackson? He's got the best seat in the house.
Although it looks like he might need a bigger umbrella than what he's got there. But anyway, good luck, AJ.
And meanwhile, the Bears have been unable to complete their set. And if you saw the kickoff, I thought perhaps if they were just a bit better positioned, Burleigh, it was very close to out on the full. They might have got that ball on the sidelines. They were catching it. But nevertheless, Recliffe, deja vu for them. Deep in Bears territory attacking, looking for their opening try. There's Louis and Costa wrapping up Kelly, and now Patama to Nathan Watts close to the line. Alick over the top. Patama, Louis at first receiver. Kelly there, lined up out the back. Fuller, lovely ball out to the winger, and Jennings, can he get there? What about the tackle from Guy Hamilton around the legs? Try savers, Robert Jennings looked likely. Kelly, crossfield, out from nowhere. McGrady couldn't quite hold on to it. He had it momentarily. Braden McGrady was a whisker away from scoring a try.
Yeah, beautiful work there by Albert Kelly to recognise that McGrady was in good position for that crossfield kick. We know that he's got good form fielding those ones, Braden McGrady. He did so in last year's grand final decider for the North Devils. So he's got that in his arsenal, just misses on this occasion. He's filthy with himself there on the Macca's replay.
It's Tony Francis, the 20-year-old, prolific try scorer. Tony Francis had a wonderful try-scoring record last season. Taylor, that perhaps went a little underrated given that his teammate, Khan Pereira, was the leading try scorer. Politoni out to Roberts, cut out there, the back rower in A-League as they spread it wide, and here is the man we were talking about earlier. And now Roberts, Hamilton off the right foot, inside there. Strong tackle, but got the offload away, did the 50 game of Pedersen Rabani. Back to Hamilton. A little bit of a steeplechase effort there from Schwass as they march upfield. Keanu Keeney only 10 out centre field. Last tackle, Bolitoni, Roberts. Can he get away from Kelly? Yes, he can! And he puts it on a platter for Alick. And Jacob Alick scores. And Burleigh have their second try in the opening 12 minutes.
Well, the Bears certainly had the Dolphins on the ropes during that last set. Attacking the line, offloads left, right and centre. Hard to handle is Keanu Keeney in broken play, but Pat Politini, he knows there's an opportunity. He just jumps and goes. Roberts, great composure, not to throw the ball when he had a little bit of pressure from Albert Kelly. skips on the outside and finds a hard-running Jacob Alec.
Host Plus is a top-performing industry super fund run only to benefit our members. An industry fund that puts you first. That's a plus.
Yeah, Jacob Alec, there he is, the former South Slogan Magpie, and a couple of former Magpies, one with their winger Queens Toya today for the Bears, Jacob Alec, and well and truly on the radar of the Gold Coast Titans as well.
Yeah, Jacob Alec, he's played a little bit of centre and outside back, but I think he's found a nice little home in the back row for the Bears. Ran a beautiful line there for Tyrone Roberts, so great execution of skill. And the Bears, they convert every time they get down this end.
Tyrone Roberts from directly in front. Another conversion thanks to Containers for Change. Visit containersforchange.com.au.
Yeah, it really seems to be a concerted ploy by the Burleigh Bears early on. Plenty of offloads, move this Dolphins pack around, players in motion, and they get the rewards there. But, you know, Recliffe coach Ben Tier won't be happy about this. Second week in a row, they've made a really slow start. We remember last week they trailed North Devils by 14 points at half time. That almost proved fatal, but you can't afford to give this Burleigh side a start.
Yes, good point, Adam. Let's not forget as well that Burleigh coming off the bye. Taylor, how much of an influence do you think that has, teams coming off the bye, playing their opponents who have played the previous week?
Yeah, well, I think if you have a bye early on, just as we see a penalty with McGrady, if you have a bye early on in the season, it's not very advantageous to your side. But once you've got a grand final game against the Devils, which they started off the season with, then a bye up against one of the most physical sides the week after in the Dolphins, gives your side the opportunity to rest in between two really tough battles in the middle. So they wouldn't have been too upset with that, Luke Burton, the troops, when the draw came out.
Our Shell V-Power play to watch this afternoon. And it is that man there, Keanu Keeney, the fullback. He's only 18, and he showed glimpses of what he's capable of in those NRL trials for the Titans, and has starred for Palm Beach Currumbin in schoolboys competitions in recent years.
Great hit up there by Clyde Peterson Rabati, but it's been one-on-one stripped by Dynamis Louis. Of course, Dynamis had an outstanding defensive game last weekend, pulling off a great hit against Vaipulu and then stealing the ball there for the Dolphins.
Yeah. Don't forget, if you need to get to the game, then fill up with Shell V-Power at 98, the premium fuel designed to deliver unbeatable protection. Fuel the feeling with Shell V-Power. Certainly the Dolphins now with plenty of petrol in the tank again. In Burleigh's end of the field, and the offload away to Trey Fuller. Wrapped up by Politoni and the skipper Sal Lima. Up until now, the Bears have been able to hold out the Dolphins. Patama, again, Louis at that first receiver as they go out wide here, the Dolphins. Jackson Fry, little kick forward, and Keeney was there. Well positioned, the young fullback, and dealt with it accordingly.
You've done really well there to get underneath that one. I've just been a little bit disappointed, if I'm honest, Drury, with the way the Dolphins have started this game. There's a lot of ball going to the deck in that last set of six as we see the Maccas replay with Keeney escaping. But I'm sure Ben Teo wouldn't be very happy with the way they've started, as Adam Jackson mentioned, and just the execution of skill. It's been really poor for Host Plus Cup level.
Politoni able to make some metres up the middle of the ruck, and there's Credence Toya who'll win the penalty for his team. No, it's going to be against Burleigh here.
Yeah, Jacob Alec, I think he might have just made an attempt to wrap up the Dolphins player there as he was trying to make a tackle. Yeah, he does. He just knocks over Albert Kelly, and that's the exact gap that was run through. So Dolphins there getting out of jail. They'll have another opportunity to attack the line. They want to come up with points here. Been unsuccessful the last two outings.
So tap and go here from the Illawarra junior, Jack Bostock.
11.
They really have had a plethora of tackles in their opposition's 20. That of the Burleigh Bears 20 is Connor Williams straightens.
Okay, Pat, out now.
Made 5'8" in the Dolphins Colts grand final last year, and that loss to the Townsville Blackhawks. Benjamin King.
He's short now.
Those big minutes, the Dolphins junior. It's King, Patama, Fuller rather, and there goes the 6 again. So another 6 more tackles here for Recliffe. Everything they could have asked for and more. Can they capitalise? Patama to Louis. Did he hang on to that? No, he dropped it. Jonamus Louis. And the defence from the Burleigh Bears strong enough to force the ball loose.
Yeah, as we look at the Macca's replay here, it was Pride Peterson Rabati that just gets Louis on that ball carrying arm at a perfect placement. Jolts the ball loose for Louis. So great defence there from Pride Peterson Rabati in his 50th game at this level. Pride, of course, playing for the Dolphins in last year's grand final against the Devils. Played in the trials for the Dolphins and then had a transfer and found a new home here for the Burleigh Bears. So he'll be looking to make a real mark on today's match, and that right shoulder there proves it.
And started his career with Norths as well, Peterson Rabati.
There you go, he's been at the big 3.
So piggyback penalty here for Burleigh. Kia Pere had possession at the time. Belinda Sharp signals the penalty.
Okay, let's go. Stay on side.
These two sides have met 56 times in the past, and Redcliffe lead the head-to-head record 31 to 24. Just the one draw, so 31 to 24 to the Dolphins. And the last time they played was that preliminary final at KO Stadium last year that the Dolphins won 28 to 16 to book their ticket to the big dance where they played Norths, of course. We mentioned in the pre-game, Taylor Burleigh have won 19 of their last 21 games here.
Yeah, they've made UAA Park quite a fortress, have the Burleigh Bears. They've also played each other in a fair few grand finals here, the Dolphins and the Bears. They come up against each other in 1999, Burleigh Bears defeating the Dolphins 12 to 10. Again in 2003, where it was the Dolphins' turn to get a premiership. And then, as you mentioned in the pre-game, that 2016 grand final, the Bears downing the Dolphins 26 to 16.
Macca's are proud partners of the Burleigh Bears. Reward yourself through the My Macca's app or visit in-store and grab one of your favourites today. Macca's, I'm loving it.
So the Bears here now on the attack again. And you see there on the Macca's replay, Guy Hamilton just taking advantage. Little man on big men, confusing the Dolphins forwards.
Come on, 13.
Politoni distributes to Hamilton. And on the field now for the Bears is Tom Stedman, former Northern Pride half who had a big pre-season, and he was in the halves until Tyrone Roberts secured that berth late this afternoon. So expect Stedman to feature off the bench. Played there by Pere, Politoni, drifting across field. Costa, there is Stedman just chiming in. Alick, very tall back rower, Jacob Alick. Politoni, and he goes to Keeney. Keeney, as the play breaks down, takes the tackle. The last tackle here, Politoni. And Stedman, and Hamilton, 20 metres out as they go high, the Burleigh Bears. Pere with the tap back. He was looking there for his teammate in Schwass, but the Dolphins were there in numbers. And here's Valence Tavare, the nuggety centre three-quarter, who just always seems to be quite the handful for opposing defenders.
He just has that sort of explosive power that can be so hard to handle. We know he's big and he's wide, but he's so strong as well. That speed is unexpected for a man that big. Earns the penalty.
Thanks to Village Motors North Lakes, sponsors of the Dolphins and home of Renault, GMSV, Nissan, Haval and Great Wall. Proud supporters of the Redcliffe Dolphins. That's Village Motors North Lakes. He must Been to Village Motors before, Taylor? Have you spent a big part of your life up that way?
Yes, I've been to Village Motors quite a few times. Great, they've been long-time supporters of the Dolphins. Marlene Newcomb and the team do a great job.
Williams, Tavare. Up by his opposite number there, and a good tackle, Kia Perret. Connor Williams, the debutant. Patama, inside runners. Louis. Dunamis Louis, 10 metres away. Ray Perret over the top. Now Patama, Crafty, Williams, dummy. Hamilton wasn't having any of it though. Strong tackle around the legs. Patama, oh, he was looking for Tavare. It was intercepted though here by Kia Perret. And in fact, it's Tony Francis rather, and Francis was away. Tackled near that Host Plus logo, wrapped up by Tyson Cleal, who's on the field. A man that you replaced in the 2016 Grand Final, Taylor. Cleal on the field.
Yes, Tyson and I have played a lot of football together, and that's what he's good at there. Coming inside, targeting ribs, and just going as hard as he can. Has some of the best defensive timing of anyone that I've ever seen on the rugby league field. So keep an eye out for Tyson Cleal in defence.
It was great anticipation from Tony Francis to come away with that intercept. And Josiah Pahulu, here he is. He is another name to watch. Pahulu, captain Ipswich State High School to their first ever Alanga Trophy last season. Politoni on the last. Hamilton, little kick in behind. This is a tough one for Williams to deal with. And he'll just bat that one into the Burleigh Bears mascot for a line dropout.
Yeah, again, the vision here from Guy Hamilton. He had lots of pressure on him. Just steps on the inside and has a great kick. There's Sam Costa troubling the defence and getting a quick play the ball. But Hamilton, he has pressure here. Late pass from Politoni. Steps on the inside, has a no-look kick. And the Bears chasers are just in the right place, right time to force that one dead. So, again, Guy Hamilton, his right boot's been the difference so far.
Yeah, kicking on point from Hamilton early on here. He's 115 Host Plus Cup games to his name, Guy Hamilton. Also played for the Tigers, Sunshine Coast and South Slogan. 20 away here, Politoni shapes one way, goes the other. Steadman, A-leg offload away, back to Tom Steadman, the former Pride half. He runs straight into Jarrett Boland, the man they call the walking pencil. Kelly also in the tackle. Politoni, here's Saluma looking for another. And looking for the offload, gets it to Politoni! He'll reach out and score! Pat Politoni! Oh, he's been one of Burleigh's best for a number of years now, and he just keeps on keeping on as Politoni.
Number 9, Pat Politoni.
You bang on there, Drury. He has been one of the great Burleigh Bears, Pat Politoni, but he's also been outstanding today. He's made the most of many an opportunity and kept the Dolphins on the back foot. You can see here, Salima looks for opportunities, can't find anything till late. Pops the offload to Politoni, who slams it down. None more deserving. Great try for the Bears.
Cheers to the East Tigers for their amazing fundraising. And cheers to Daphne and Frank, whose empties fund their grandkids' piggy bank. Cheers to the Changemakers.
Yeah, great offload away there from Saluma, linking up with Pat Politoni, the Bears veteran, who's played NRL for the West Tigers, also Cronulla Sutherland and the Gold Coast Titans. I've said this before, Taylor, just on Pat Politoni, particularly with the injury to Verrills for the Titans, and the hooker is a position they have struggled with in recent years, but I'm surprised Pat Politoni hasn't been given an opportunity.
Yeah, well, of course, he played early days in the NRL and has bid his time here, made a home on the Gold Coast playing for the Bears. And I thought for sure he would have been picked up by at least the Titans by now, but it hasn't to be. So, but what a great career he's had down here at UAA Park.
So it looks like Steadman has taken over the kicking duties. And that makes it an 18-point margin. Another conversion thanks to Containers for Change. Convert your containers into cash donations for your club. Visit containersforchange.com.au. And Adam Jackson, as we look at this try again, I understand you've got some news on Tyrone Roberts.
Yeah, big injury news down here on the sideline. The reason Stedman's come on is because Tyrone Roberts come off with a suspected pec injury, so we pretty much confident that he will be done for the day. He's icing it up at the moment. So Stedman, as we just saw, is a goal kicker, so more than capable of filling. Also, potentially an issue for the fullback for the Burleigh Bears too. Seems to have picked up a leg problem, Keeney. He's just been moved out to the left wing, and Credence Toya appears to be playing fullback at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. So great start, try scoring for the Burleigh Bears, but horror start in terms of injuries.
Well, thank you, Adam. Some big updates there. So, breaking news, Tyrone Roberts out for the remainder of the game, it seems, and Keanu Keeney shifts to the wing, Toya at fullback. So, as Adam reported, there must be some kind of concern for Keanu Keeney. But fortunately for Burleigh, Taylor, they do have that wonderful replacement in Stedman, who just slots straight in and can also goal kick.
Yes, that's right. He's perfect replacement there for Tyrone Roberts. He was starting in their round one matchup and then only shifted to make way for that classy veteran in Roberts. So he gets a chance here to cement that position in the side.
Oh, there's an error and the trigger's not happy. Trey Fuller, a little bit of push and shove there. He wasn't happy about something, Trey, but he's come up with the error. Let's have another look at this, thanks to Maccas. Strong tackle there. Was it Perret? Kia Perret, and let him know about it too. And they might have some injury concerns, the Burleigh Bears, but they completed after scoring. They lead by 18, and another opportunity to extend their lead further.
Yeah, it took 20 points for the Dolphins to get going in their last week's matchup against the North Devils. It's already 18-0 now. They won't want to let it get too far out before they reel this one back. So yeah, the Dolphins, a lot of work to do here. Big defensive set coming up.
Indeed. And Burleigh, Josiah Pahulu. Oh, he's lost it now. So strong defence. He's a big bopper, Josiah. He's only young, and he's certainly one of the most exciting youngsters in our game at the moment. As nationwide, I'll say too, Josiah Pahulu, and uncharacteristic error from him. Also a lovely young kid as well, Taylor. You know, just from what Luke Burt was saying, just wants to learn as much as he can and do all those extras, do those 1%ers as well.
Yeah, that's a great attitude to have for a young player, and I'm sure that attitude alone will take him very far. It's already taken him to Host Plus Cup level at such a young age, and if he can keep that humbleness, I'm sure there'll be NRL in his future.
George Jennings, and for all those youngsters out there watching on this afternoon, Taylor, what is the secret to succeeding when it comes to humility?
Yeah. Well, I think you're asking the wrong person there, Drury, to be honest. Oh, not a personality trait I really possess.
I thought I might have got that one wrong.
Thank you for highlighting that in today's broadcast.
So Kelly with the kick. And there is Credence Toya, who we believe may be playing fullback at the moment.
Big shot by Cleel there in that contest. He's starting to fire up, the big fella.
Early ball there to Perret, and yet another penalty. A little high in the tackle was the call. Let's take another look at this one, thanks to Maccas.
It looks like Jackson Fry's left arm might have crept up a little bit there and caught Perret high. No malice in it, of course, but just a bit of a lazy arm at speed. Penalties and drop ball really hurting the Dolphins at the moment. They're giving easy piggybacks to the Bears, and they're such a quality outfit. You can't continue to do that without repercussion.
So the Bears over halfway and into Dolphins territory.
Yeah, we can see here George Fire's entered the field now for the Dolphins. They've completely swapped over the middle of the field, maybe looking for some inspiration and some impact from those big men. Oh yeah, there goes Cleel again.
Big shot. again, and George Fye also making an impact on the field. Now Hamilton around the decoy player. Schwartz back inside to Perret as they look to keep it alive, but asking some questions there, the Bears of the Redcliffe Dolphins.
It was beautiful vision by Guy Hamilton on last tackle, just to chance his arm. Rather than going for the kick, he's decided to put it through the hands. They had a nice little play set up. Here's that big shot in your bottom right-hand corner. Pahulu's hair slamming into the air, and there was that play on the right-hand side, Hamilton to Schwartz, and only a little pass off executing that one. So they have all the tricks in their arsenal, the Bears, and they're starting to bring them out.
Come on, go to.
So we'll just restart again, and Hamilton and Schwartz now looking to bring down the Dolphins player in George Fye, who's on. He's the brother of Justin, former Brisbane Tiger, Georgie Fye. He's playing some great football at the moment. Fuller feeding Jackson Fry. Only a metre in from touch. On halfway, Tavare goes himself from dummy half. 40 metres away here from the Burleigh try line. Last play for Recliffe. Fuller fires the pass out to Patama. Kelly goes high. It's a very high kick, this one. Test here for Credence Toya, who did well, made it look easy, and then also made some valuable metres as well. Toya tackled by Robert Jennings.
It was a good chase for the Dolphins. They haven't got to a kick for long. You can see now, interchange. Isaac Jackson getting on the field in the number 14 jersey for the Dolphins. Made his debut.
He's finally on the field, Taylor.
Yeah, made his debut technically in round one, but unfortunately didn't get on the field with the rain. Then was again on the bench last weekend against the Devils and couldn't get on the field again. So finally getting his first taste of on-field action in the Host Plus Cup in his third game.
Congratulations to Isaac Jackson, 14 for the Dolphins today. Still with Burleigh here, played by Perret, back to Hamilton. Pressure on him from his opposing number, Williams. High cross-field kick. And it goes straight down the throat. Out on that right side, it ends up with Fuller. Trey Fuller tackled by Tony Francis. And now McGrady, who took the catch originally. Braden McGrady scored the match winner in last year's grand final, then playing for Norths. Penalty Dolphins.
I don't think it's any surprise, Drury, to see that last set they had a lot of success running up the middle, and Braden McGrady getting involved there for the Dolphins. He played in last week's game, and both McGrady and Jennings, they didn't have many run meters throughout the middle of the park. Only running for 91 metres as an outside back last week was Braden McGrady, so I'm expecting a higher involvement rate from him today. It'll set a good platform for the Dolphins.
So Tavare played at only 22 out. Now Fye straightens, tackled there by Josiah Pahulu. We mentioned him earlier. He's an Australian schoolboy from last year and also in the current Queensland under-19 squad. Josiah Pahulu and Isaac Jackson, the man we're just talking about. He's over the try line but can't get the ball down. In fact, no, he's in the field of play. Patama, Kelly, a little juggle to go backwards. Well, he gave himself up. Alick high-fiving there with Toya, and the Bears hang on with their comfortable 18-point lead just on Josiah Pahulu. Taylor, as we have a look at this Macca's replay, Australian schoolboy, captain Ipswich State High School at inaugural Allan Langer Trophy last year. He was one of the most impressive youngsters in the country alongside Keanu Keeney, both Titans contracted, and the Bears, well, they have the luxury of having both these fine young players at their disposal in season 2023.
And how good's that a couple of lads from Ipswich get to play football together at this high level of football. So
yeah, well, Pahulu certainly from Ipswich. And Alick for the Bears. They lead 18-0.
On, George.
2023 round 3 Host Plus Cup action.
Go free. Better. Inside 40.
And that was inside the 40. You could hear the referee.
Outside 20.
And finds touch.
No. It's a
We're going
hand
to take
up.
a short break. We'll be right back.
Yep. Where do you want it?
Interchange for Recliffe Dolphins.
Have Super Cheap Auto, whether you drive an old car, new old car, two-wheel car, or a no-wheel car. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
Come off the bench together.
Help! 17, let go! Wait.
So 18 points to nil. The Dolphins see that they've had a lot of chances this first half, Taylor. It's important they capitalise here.
Yeah, we saw late in the half against the Devils, the first half there, they had, to be fair, a pretty similar game. They weren't playing outstanding football, and they pulled it together just before the break. Valence Tafare scored this side of the half, and then straight away the other side of the break. So,
oh, Butterfingers again, the Dolphins. This time it was Jack Bostock.
No advantage.
Well, it was Albert Kelly not too long ago, and now Bostock, and Coach Ben Teo, well,
Scrum line.
he mightn't have his hair for too much longer the way the Dolphins are playing up the Bears' defensive part of the field. They've had their opportunities.
yes, I don't think we should be pointing the camera on young Ben Teo at the moment. There may be a couple of signs bashed in around him. I'm sure there's plenty of frustration.
Over each other.
As we head down to the sideline once again to Adam Jackson.
Come on, come together.
Yeah, one player they're definitely missing, especially on that right-hand side, is Jeremiah Simbikin. We saw him score that match-tying try last week for the Dolphins over there. They tell me he's got a hamstring injury suffered in that game, but they expect it only to be 1 to 2 weeks, so potentially he could come back. But they really seem to be missing his consistency and that extra dimension he adds in attack.
Yes, thank you, Adam. He was one of their best last year, Simbikin, in that grand final charge. Another NRL Dolphins contracted player, Jeremiah.
Yes, he is, Jeremiah.
Here's Politoni, short ball at the line. There for Sam Costa. Quick play the ball as well. Stedman threads the needle with a kick. Saluma, can he get to it first? I think he's knocked it on, has he? He had a bit of time too then, did the skipper in Saluma, and fair to say he's made a meal of that.
Yes, he has, and Stedman dribbled it across the ground. Didn't quite get the bounce that Salima would have liked. No sort of popping up motion to go straight into his hands. But it is an error, and the Dolphins will get an opportunity. Not long left on the clock, though, but how good is it to see the Bears just playing a little bit of eyes-up ad-lib football through the middle of the park, winning the contact battle, getting the offloads away. It's not too long for plays like that will start to stick.
Come on, all in.
So the Dolphins from the scrum win as we edge closer to half time, and the ball comes loose. It will lead to a penalty, and Taylor, I can see you there next to me at the moment. It appears you've seen someone in the crowd, have you?
Yeah, look, I was just having a look in the background before. I thought I might have had a glimpse of Wayne Bennett up the back watching the game. I could be wrong. He might be listening on his couch to me saying, you've got no idea, but it looked like him in the background.
You might be getting him mixed up with Dwayne Bennett.
I could be. They look similar.
So the last play of the half, Kelly, he went for the 2-point field goal. Charged down by Costa, who's in a foot race here with Boland. Socked by Costa. He was taken out by Boland. This should be a penalty here to the Bears, and it will be.
Number 12.
I don't think it's just going to be a penalty, Drury. I think it might be 10 minutes in the bin. About as close to a try-scoring action as you can see.
Go for 10.
As you will see, and there he is. Boland will get a little bit of an extra break here.
It's a professional foul.
So a professional foul, and Boland is in the bin. Not the first time a Boland's been sent to the sin bin. And he'll have to sit down for 10 minutes, the man they call the pencil, and they'll be tempted to take the 2 here, the Bears. They will take the 2, and that was a blatant one, wasn't it, Taylor?
It doesn't get much more obvious than that. You can see Albert Kelly going for a field goal. He went for one in last week's matchup as well, both unsuccessful. And Sam Costa, talk about Mr. Consistent for the Burleigh Bears. He's charging it down, then chasing his own kick and beating the chase, beating all the Dolphins outside backs to the ball. You don't get many harder workers than Sam Costa on a football field. He's the Parks Baseman's junior, Sam Costa.
Stay behind him.
Did you ever get sin bin in your playing career, Taylor?
Drew, there's no need to
Tell
bring up
10 there,
those
guys.
sorts of things on live on the TV, mate, you know. There was a couple of times in the bin. Never deserved any of them.
So here's Stedman to make it a 20-point lead right on half-time. And he was right, but it was good enough. It started right, but held its line, and Stedman converts, so 20 points to nil here at half-time. The Burleigh Bears in control against the Recliffe Dolphins in this huge Sunday afternoon Host Plus Cup clash. And it's been one-way traffic, Taylor Brown.
Yes, it has. It's been all Burleigh Bears down here at UAA Park. They've made the most of their opportunities down in Dolphins territory, and well, we said it many times live during the call, but the Dolphins having another half to forget, emulating their last week's performance in the first stanza. So a lot of work to do here by Ben Teo and his troops coming out of the break.
If you've just joined us, no Tyrone Roberts for the rest of the game, but a great start to this one for the home team. They lead 20 points to nil at half-time here at UAA Park. 3 tries in the opening 40 minutes. Started with their skipper, Sal Luma. Also tries to Alick and Pat Politoni. Roberts with the 2 conversions whilst he was on the field. And Stedman, of course, has kicked goals as well. So 20 points to nil at the break. The Burleigh Bears over the Recliffe Dolphins in that preliminary final rematch from 2022.
Well, it's all just a bit of history repeating itself for the Recliffe Dolphins. The second week in a row, they're going to have to reel in a big margin. And this time it comes against the Burleigh Bears. And speaking up, racking up big totals, it's been a milestone weekend for one of our longest-serving referees in the Host Plus Cup competition. Ben Watts officiated his 100th Host Plus Cup match up in North Queensland last night in Townsville Blackhawks taking on the Mackay Cutters. Something we probably don't do a good enough job in rugby league, recognising the officials. So congratulations to Ben, because if we don't have the referees, we don't have a game. And speaking of referees, Belinda Sharp about to come back out on the field after making her crucial decision right in the stroke of half-time. Reminder, Dolphins will play the start of this second half with only 12 men. Jarrett Boland in the sin bin.
Thank you, Adam. As we take a look at some of the big hits from the opening half, something you made a career out of, Taylor. Talk us through it.
Yes, no, that man Tyson Clear was involved in a couple of them, as was Dynamis Louis. He was a big hit from Perret on young trigger Trey Fuller, causing him to lose the ball, and a bit of fire afterwards as well. You always expect to see that when the Bears take on the Dolphins. There's Tyson Clear again. He's affectionately got the nickname Bangers. There he goes. Old Bangers Clear into him today. Bit of muscle throughout the middle. There's Williams putting some pressure on Hamilton. Looked like it could have been a head clash.
He's been delivering a few hits already, Clear. They might soon enough call him Jukebox. So we're set here for the second half. Dolphins trailing by 20 as Trey Fuller boots this one high and taken there by the Burleigh Bears. Hamilton it was. And now for the first hit up is Jeff Lynch, who's on the field. And of course, a reminder that the Dolphins are down to 12 men for the best part of 10 minutes. Jarrett Boland sent off right before that half-time siren.
Yes, I don't think it's by coincidence that the Bears shifted to that left-hand side of the field where Boland has been stationed. Simbican was there last weekend. They lose him, replaced with Boland, so there's already a bit of disruption on that edge. Now there's no one filling that second row position, so I think they might get a little bit of fruit if they head down the right-hand side of the Dolphins.
And, of course, the River City Rumble the other night, the Dolphins, NRL and the Broncos. A few injuries to the Dolphins. Sean O'Sullivan, a big one. They think he'll be out for a while. So perhaps an opportunity for some of these Dolphins players.
Absolutely, and there's an opportunity there for the next couple of weeks. Sean O'Sullivan, that pec injury, that's going to be a couple of months. So if your name's Albert Kelly or Connor Williams, you'll want to be impressing today here for the Dolphins.
There have been some unconfirmed reports that Wayne Bennett might be here this afternoon in the crowd. We'll keep you posted on any developments there. The Dolphins coming out of their own, or deep in their own territory, up towards the 40, towards halfway. And there's Patama. On now to Connor Williams, who's on debut. If you've just joined us, the Colts 5'8", who played in last year's grand final. The Colts being the under-21s, of course. Hastings Deering Colts. Here's Tavare. Second year in the Host Plus Cup, Valence Tavare. Albert Kelly on the last. Crossfield high kick. Good chase coming through there by Braden McGrady. And he was able to wrap up Keanu Keeney, who, as Adam reported, has switched to the wing, although the Dolphins have given away a penalty.
Yeah, Keeney was just trying to hit the ground there before the tackle was made, and McGrady gets him a little bit high. You can see here, nothing in it, no intent, but certainly cops him around the chops. So,
you okay with that penalty?
I'm okay with that penalty. Any contact with the head is something we're trying to get rid of in the game.
You've mellowed since retirement, Taylor.
Oh, yes, I have mellowed, mate. But you got to look after the players these days, and certainly with the amount of noise going around about concussions, it's very important to make sure that's in check.
And another error this time coming from Burleigh's Jacob Alick.
You can see here on the Macca's replay, there was a couple in the tackle, George Fye, and then the contact from Tyson Cleal right around the ball carrier, which has jolted that one loose. I know their defensive coach, Daniel Green, in the offseason, they made a real point of hitting under the chest around that ball area, bending your backs and driving through. So looks like that might be coming through here for the Dolphins in this matchup.
Your Shell V-Power play to watch in the second half is the number 4, Valence Tavare, the centre 3/4. There he is with the ball at the moment. He's certainly one to watch, Valence Tavare. And if you need to get to the game, then make sure you fill up with Shell V-Power 98, the premium fuel designed to deliver unbeatable protection. Fuel the feeling with Shell V-Power.
There's the Dolphins, drop that one. Bears on the attack. I'm sure it's starting to get very frustrating for Ben Tao and the coaching staff here for the Dolphins.
So 20 points to 0, no change of the halftime score. Josiah Pahulu it was previously with that play the ball, and this time it was Alick as they continue to march forward straight up Main Street here, the Bears. Lynch, the big fella. Hamilton looking for runners and finds one in Schwass. Alex Schwass and Costa, a very settled back row these days for the Bears. You can add Polatoni to the mix there in the number 9 jumper as well. Got a late offload from Costa. Did well to keep it propelled backwards, did Polatoni. And the referee rightly calls play on. Little kick from Toyer in behind. Fuller took a couple of swipes at that. Did he knock on? The captain, Sawaluma, thought he did.
Yeah, it certainly looked like he may have got a little touch to it, old Trigger Trey.
Of course, you played with Trey Fuller.
Yes, I did play with Trey for a number of years. Played with a lot of the players playing today. Tyson Cleal, Benjamin King, Nathan Watts, Patama. That was 3 years ago or 30 kilos ago, whichever one you like to count.
Do you know the pencil?
I do know the pencil. I played with the pencil as well.
Well, don't leave him out.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry, pencil. I just can't see him on the field. He's having a break. He's having an extended break here.
Just short of, or just over halfway there, Tavare. Fuller down the short side. And that'll be the last. Will be a changeover on that outer side, right in front of that area of the ground where we did hear there was a Wayne Bennett sighting earlier, according to the great Taylor Brown. And how convenient he's now left his seat again.
No, he's still behind the pole, mate. He's still behind the pole. He's one of the hardest men on the peninsula to capture on camera.
Has he hired a body double, do you think?
I think he may have.
Is that throwing you off?
Yeah, well, there's whispers of Dwayne. There's whispers of Dwayne Bennett. If not Wayne, there's definitely Dwayne.
Kia Perro. Just inside Dolphins territory. You'd have to think they need to be the next to score, Redcliffe. Alick 40 metres out, 12 in for a touch. Broadcast side, Polatoni, Lynch away from Costa. Smart tap on. Found Schwass, who got it away to Perret. Only 15 away here, Burleigh. Guy Hamilton. Chief playmaker. Stedman shows it, dummies, and runs straight into Bostock. Kelly around the legs. 10 away. The skipper. Oh, I was looking for Keeney. McGrady got a touch to it, and in the end, it's probably safe to try.
Yeah, if McGrady didn't throw that arm out there, you've probably got another try in the corner there for the Bears in Keeney. Here's this beautiful execution by the Bears. Sam Costa gets the ball short, goes through the tackle and offloads behind him. They're just such a well-oiled machine, the Bears. They've kept the nucleus of this side together for a long time now. As you mentioned, Alick, Schwass, Costa, long-time Bears, Polatoni as well. Salima, the captain's been there for many a year, so it's what happens when you keep a side together for that long. They gel and play great football.
Hamilton, oh, he put it on a platter for Hayden Schwass. And Schwass is over. He's been threatening to break the line throughout the day, and this time Schwass finds his way over for the 4-pointer.
Yeah, the Bears, beautiful backline play set up here on the right-hand side. Now, they've hit the short runner on the first block a couple of times in the last 5 minutes. This time they go out the back to Hamilton, who just sprints straight on the inside shoulder of Connor Williams, the young debutant. First game of the Host Plus Cup, and has to make a tough choice between the ball carrier in Hamilton and the line runner in Schwass. And Hamilton picks it apart perfectly. So great read there from the boys in maroon and white.
So try to Hayden Schwass, Burleigh's 4th for the afternoon. And Stedman will look to add the extras directly in front. And the Dolphin in a world of pain at the moment. It was a tremendous comeback last week from the Dolphins to score the final 2 tries to force the draw. They had a field goal to win the game. The Dolphins, Albert Kelly late. Today they've struggled to find points, and Stedman able to add the extras thanks to Containers for Change. Visit containersforchange.com.au.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, boys, but it's actually stopped raining down here on the sideline, so hopefully that's the case for the remainder of the second half. I spoke to Bears coach Luke Bird at halftime. He wants a defensive focused second half. We've shown we can score points, issued a challenge to his boys, be defensively ruthless in this final 40 minutes. Reinforcements on the way, though, for the Dolphins. I'm just on the bench. Jarrett Boland about to return from the sin bin, so back to their full complement momentarily here at Recliffe.
Thank you, Adam. They'll be back to their full complement shortly, Taylor, but unable to not concede during that period, the Recliffe Dolphins. There is Jarrett on the sideline awaiting his return.
Yes, you'll be looking to make an impact once you get on the field. There'll be some tired bodies having to defend against the largest squad there that Burleigh had at the time. So he'll need to make an immediate impact and try and lift the spirits of his teammates if they're going to mount a comeback similar to what we saw in last week's grand final rematch.
What do they need to do here, the Dolphins, Taylor, to get back into this game, do you think?
Look, I think it's pretty simple. It's they need to just start running straight and hard up the middle of the field and using their outside backs. I'll have a good opportunity here. McGrady's involved. He's dangerous. Get Fuller, Valence Tafare, Robert Jennings. They need to start peppering up the middle of the field, and there's the pencil himself taking a hit up as soon as he's back on the field.
So back to 13 on 13. And the Dolphins with some much needed possession. Kelly with a run himself over halfway. And there's Ryan Jackson, who's on the field as well for the Dolphins. Patama. Played by Fuller to Patama. Now Kelly. Can they get some kind of a contest in the air? We know how good Braden McGrady is in the air. Taylor, he just hasn't had the kicks to his advantage all afternoon, has he?
You know, they haven't quite been placed in the perfect area for him to jump. The one that was in the first half, he almost got a hand to it. It could have resulted in 4 points if he had just pulled that one off. But they need to start playing to their advantages, the Dolphins. They have a really good forward pack, and Watts, King in them in the middle of the field. So as hard as possible up the guts with their big men. Keep it simple. Play a tough brand of football.
Tony Francis.
14 off the arm. Wait.
And here's Vaka Sikahele, who's on the field for Burleigh. And what a run from Sikahele. He's still going. Almost up to the 20. Blink and you miss it, folks. Sikahele. Now Hamilton over the top. A-League looking for the bounce. And Braden McGrady, rather, from the clouds to clean up for his team. Wrapped up by Pahulu and also Saoluma, but well done, Braden McGrady.
He's done exceptionally there, young McGrady. Not only cleaning up the ball, but beating 2 or 3 defenders in that spirited run. You can see on that right-hand corner in the Macca's replay, straight in the middle of 2 defenders there, bumps off two more, so dangerous in broken play. Fuller, McGrady.
As we check in again with Adam Jackson, and Adam, it looks like Braden McGrady just staying down in back play there.
Last one, Hayden, lock in. Wait.
Certainly momentarily anyway. We'll come back to Adam a little later on. So the kick comes in to complete the set. And the Bears were there in defence, and Adam is with us now.
Yeah, guys, I'm just keeping an eye on him in back play. Just with that interchange too, with Sikahele coming on, he's playing hooker. Pat Politoni stays on the field, so he'll go to that kind of middle forward role, and it's Jeff Lynch who's come off for the Bears at the moment.
So Jeff Lynch getting that break. That's great insight. Thank you, AJ. Could be some trouble if he does stay off the field there, Braden McGrady. He's had some small touches and looked outstanding.
He just needs better service, so when they're attacking on that last, those crossfield kicks, we know how dynamic he is in the air, Braden McGrady.
See here a bit of high contact by Patama on Hamilton. As we see the Macca's replay, there's not much in it. Hamilton just unfortunately losing his footing and sliding down as he was coming into impact. Been a couple of those today for the Dolphins.
What have you made of Tom Stedman?
I thought Tom Stedman's done a really good job so far. Obviously replacing Tyrone Roberts. Probably didn't expect to play this many minutes once Roberts came back. But he's made every post a winner. Of course, moving over from the Pride, who didn't have the sort of 2022 that the Bears had. Obviously looking for a little opportunity down here in southeast Queensland. He's been great.
As the Bears go wide, lovely pass out to Keanu Keeney, who retreated to stay in field. It's Albert Kelly over the top of him. So Keeney's still not looking 100%, is he?
No, he doesn't. He looked to have tripped on that right leg.
Hulu. And now Politoni, short side. Stedman. Politoni calling A-League infield. He's got his skipper on the left, short side. And he'll go all the way to Hamilton in the end. Finding Sam Costa, who got the offload back to Politoni. A-League. 3 Dolphins in the tackle to bring him to ground. Last tackle now, Politoni. Stedman, Hamilton, they're going to go crossfield here. Intended target, Perret, and Perret comes down with it. Brilliantly executed. Kia Perret. And the Bears continue to dominate here at home.
Pinpoint kick again there from Guy Hamilton on last play. Knew where his targets were. Could have kicked it onto a 5-cent piece. Perret had all the running behind him. Jennings a little flat-footed. Had to retreat to try and get up in the air. Was never a chance against the flying Perret. He made every post a winner in that attempt. Great work by the Burleigh Bears.
Host Plus is a top-performing industry super fund run only to benefit our members. An industry fund that puts you first? That's a plus.
Kia Perret, he's scored 15 tries coming into this game. That's his 16th Host Plus Cup try in his 37th Host Plus Cup game. And we talk about execution in the last of those crossfield kicks, Taylor. They can be the difference between tries and not scoring, and you just see a big difference there in the execution from the halves and their kicking game, their attacking kicking game, on this occasion leading to points for the Burleigh Bears.
Yeah, we've said it a couple of times here this afternoon, but Ty Hamilton's right boot has so far been the difference between the two sides, and the ending to those sets, either producing points or just finding the ground, perfect placement. So it's certainly something the Dolphins need to improve on as their last play options.
Does he kick this?
I back him in, Stedman. Perfect so far this afternoon. And I should know about perfect goal kicking.
So Stedman, and he's absolutely shanked it to the right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back shortly. The Bears leading 30-0.
Cheers to the East Tigers for their amazing fundraising. And cheers to Daphne and Frank, whose empties fund their grandkids' piggy bank. Cheers to the Changemakers.
So the margin 30, there's Kia Perret, 30 points to nil. The Dolphins yet to score. If you've just joined us, no Tyrone Roberts for the rest of the day for the Burleigh Bears. And they still go long with the kickoff here, the Dolphins. Fuller gets us going again. And here's Vaka Sikahele returning it for the Bears. Pat Politoni at hooker. Pillar of strength for this Burleigh side. Pahulu with the offload away. So Costa about 23 out centre field. And the ball comes loose. Huge shot there on Sekahele. It was it Fry who forced the ball loose? But that's exactly what the doctor ordered from a Recliffe Dolphins perspective.
Yeah, we've mentioned they need to
get... There is the Dolphins head coach, Taylor, but it's not Wayne, that was Ben.
Yeah, speaking of Ben's, that was Ben King up and up to the ribs there. Great shot, jolted the ball loose. You mentioned he's a Dolphins junior, hails from the Pine Rivers Bears, yeah, Ben King. Around the corner there from Recliffe. The Dolphins, they'll need to start getting going very shortly if they want to try and reel this 30-point differential in.
Fuller from the scrum win, Bostock. Saluma and the Bears driving him towards that sideline. Stedman having a real solid game for the Bears. And here's Ryan Jackson. He's another one in that Queensland under-19 squad. The appointment this year by the QRL of Pathways coach Nathan Cross, and he's doing some wonderful things with those youngsters. Ryan Jackson for the Dolphins in jumper 17, also against under-19, as is Pahulu for the Bears. So that was King as they get the set restart, and Kelly onto Fry. Jackson Fry. And now Nathan Watts. Local Dolphins junior since the under-6s. Nathan Watts. And now Connor Williams to Tavare. Well anticipated by the Bears defence. Perret and also Schwass. There's young Connor Williams. Which way will he go? Finds the front row in Watts, and the pass was just a little bit behind him. And the youngster Connor Williams on debut. He's still got time to show us what he's capable of. But perhaps just a little bit of chemistry there off having not played with each other in a different dummy half. And Watts couldn't handle. It'll be a scrum feed 10 out centre field to the home team.
It seems to be the story of the afternoon, unfortunately, for the Recliffe Dolphins. A pass too short, a pass too long. Just off the mark here, they have been so far this afternoon.
Okay, bend your back here, that's it. Stay in pack, clock off, stay train. Break!
So 30 points to nil inside the final 20 minutes now. Burleigh Bears with that comfortable lead. 5 tries from the Bears. Pahulu, and they were onto him. He's a strong young man, Pahulu, but Kelly was there, and also Ryan Jackson, his under-19's fellow Queensland squad member. There's Albert Kelly. And sloppy play the ball. So the Dolphins handed a gift opportunity here, and they must capitalise. They simply must capitalise. It's now or never for the Dolphins.
You're absolutely right, Drury. Now or never here. If the Dolphins can't capitalise, I fear even with the star-studded lineup they do have and this outstanding back line, it may just be too little too late for the boys in red and white. This man needs to be involved, that's for sure. Balance to far right. Dangerous from close.
Well, it sounds remarkable to be saying this, but we could be, well, we are staring down the barrel of both grand finalists still searching for their first win after the opening 3 rounds. Unless the Dolphins can produce a miracle here. Fuller, Bostock, McGrady. Back to his 20. Bostock to Kelly. Batama finds himself in the middle of the park to Connor Williams.
Let him go now. Marcus
The youngster, Connor Williams. Now Kelly. He had runners. Elected to go himself. Politoni, Alick, and also Sekahele there. Batama's looking infield and goes that way. The Dolphins, Connor Williams, can he conjure something up? Can he lead them back from the brink? Well, he's got them a repeat set. That's a start. The young Connor Williams off the back of his kick.
Where do we want it?
Yeah, the kicking game for the Dolphins has been dominated by Albert Kelly in the lead up to this set here. Connor Williams just jumps off the left foot, very patient, stabs it down on the right, and just catches Toya a little bit shell-shocked there and on the back foot and makes a meal of it. So 6 more tackles. This is sort of pressure that's going to need to keep building to bust that damn wall.
If you were their attacking coach, what would you be drawing up this set? What would you want to see from Recliffe? Would you like to see a flick pass from Bostock on the outside to McGrady? Because that's exactly what they've done. The Dolphins are finally over.
You bang on, Drury. That's exactly what I was about to say. They have such quality in their outside backs, the Dolphins. They need to use it. They do on this occasion. Fuller just gets the ball on the outside of Salima there. It was a great angle. Catches Salima just a little bit lacking on the inside, and Bostock manages to draw in the outside winger and get the flick pass to McGrady. The Dolphins finally hit the board. Will this be the start of a comeback?
At Super Cheap Auto, we've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, didn't catch this guy's name. It's Kevin. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.
So there is Braden McGrady in new colours in season 2023. Scored the match win in that grand final for North against Recliffe, and here he is as a Dolphin. And probably smart to target that left edge defence, Taylor, as we saw there. The Dolphins, Keanu Kenny, we know he's not 100%. They went that way, and that's where they found a little bit of success.
Well, Burleigh did a very similar tactic when the pencil was off the field, just attacking that edge where he was missing. And we've known Keeney does have an issue there with that right leg. He has done since about the 20th minute of the game. The Dolphins go there, press that button. It produces points. Expect to see more of that coming up.
So Bostock with the conversion. Almost looks like the kicking tee's on the sideline, which would be doing him a slight injustice, of course. But here is Bostock literally right on the sideline, the right footer, and that's across the face. So 30 points to 4. The Dolphins, at least, they're on the scoreboard. Let's take another look at this try, Adam Jackson.
Yeah, combining 2 of their NRL contracted players here. Bostock, very impressive during their pre-season training. Gets it to McGrady, who's kind of thrived being in a full-time system. You mentioned Wayne Bennett. Wouldn't be surprised if he is watching, because they've got a lot of injury replacements they need for their next NRL match. Sean O'Sullivan out, Cody Nicarima out, Tessie New out as well. Also, they can pick some players from the CQ Capras from their new affiliation deal. Edric Lee made his debut with them last night in their win over the Pride, so expect Edric Lee to be playing in the NRL as they make a mistake off the kickoff.
Oh, no. They've made a mistake, then they got it back. We'll come back to the initial knock on. Adam, if you get a chance, please let us know if Wayne Bennett is in fact there. Taylor is adamant he's seen him in the crowd, and we're just seeking to confirm that either way.
Well, he's the only person here skinnier than me, so he's probably harder to find.
I've told you, he's behind that pole, fellas. He's behind the pole.
Well, how come we didn't see him each time the camera went there?
Because AJ said he's the skinniest man in rugby league. Wayne Bennett, he's behind the pole, all right? Just back me in. See, he's there again. He's hiding. Just back me in, Drury. Have a bit of faith, all right? Can we get anyone in that local area just to snap a picture and send it into the QRL? We need evidence.
So Hamilton, who kicks on the first from the scrum. Oh, no! Oh, Boland! Boland's just handed the Bears a try. Salaluma claiming it. And if you ever saw a case of the Butterfingers, well, that was it. Boland made a meal of that one. And the Bears have another. What's the referee going to rule here, in fact? I think the try's been awarded. Player on report, and it was a tough one for Boland, Taylor, but Salaluma, he was the opportunistic. They're ready to take advantage.
Yeah, Boland got there first and really should have just punched it as hard as he could. The kick there from Hamilton, he had pressure from Kelly, but Salima knew there was an opportunity and just kept chasing, didn't give up on the play, and gets the rewards for that effort. So, as you mentioned there, might have been better for Boland just to really punch that one over the dead ball line instead of trying to lightly shove it. But again, indicative of the afternoon the Dolphins are having.
Salaluma grabs his second. And of course it is easier said than done from here in the commentary box. No doubt Boland was doing his best, but unfortunately for him and the Dolphins, he just couldn't get that out of harm's way, and Salaluma was breathing down his neck and able to get his second. As Steadman converts, thanks to containersforchange.com.au, and just after the Dolphins finally got their first try, well, it only took a couple of minutes later for Burleigh to hit back. This replay thanks to Maccas.
And again, there's no surprise. It comes off a Guy Hamilton vision and kicking game. He's been outstanding this afternoon, Guy Hamilton. And if he keeps this up, I'm no doubt Adam Jackson will be having a conversation with him at full time.
Now, Trey Fuller again goes long. And Hamilton,
Successful conversion to number 15.
as he feeds the front row. The ball almost came loose from Emery Perret.
Top sponsored by Lone Star
So
Coaches.
36 points to 4.
On the UAE
It's with Hayden Schwass, and strong tackle from the Dolphins, but that remarkable home record looks set to continue. A win here would make it 20 from their last 22 for the Burleigh Bears here at UAA Park.
It's very impressive, and I know the Burleigh Bears, they're a strong family-based club. They have a really good policy where they pick the man over the player for their squad members. They really go for quality in character, and it shines through in these big games the way they play for each other. So the Bears, their culture shining through.
Hamilton under pressure there from young Ryan Jackson.
Yep. And run 10.
And the Dolphins with
Hayden, what up now?
Double interchange for
their winger in Robert Jennings it was.
Our starting front row is back out there.
Tavare.
10, Emery,
off the ball.
Perret, and number 8, Pride,
Wait,
Edison
you're locking him in. Wait.
Of course, the man celebrating his 50th game today, Pride Pedersen Robati. He's back on the field for the Burleigh Bears, the 50-gamer.
Go free, no marking.
McGrady, Patama has a run himself.
Move now. Way back, come on.
Costa and Sikahele there in the tackle. Kelly, he's got Fuller and goes that way. Bostock looking for McGrady, but touched by Francis. They'll get 6 more here, Redcliffe.
Yeah, they look really good when they spread it to that side, don't they? Kelly had the back to Trey Fuller.
Okay, clock's on.
With Bostock as an option as well as McGrady. They've already scored a try down that edge. Look to see them continue pushing down there,
Arms over.
especially with Kelly being the dominant half today.
Healthy crowd in, as always, here at UAA.
Arms over each other.
Looks like they've done some upgrades down there, the Burleigh Leagues Club.
Stay there. Clock off. All in.
Looks like a great afternoon on the coast.
And Bostock from the errant pass.
13. Up now. Left side here to me. Wait for it, Pat.
This is
Wait
the
14,
final
wait,
game of
14.
round 3 of the Host Plus Cup. And this will conclude the round. And did you think, regardless of what happens in the next 8 or so minutes, Taylor, did you think we'd be saying after the first 3 rounds that the 2 grand finalists are still searching for their first win of the season?
No, it's quite a surprise, isn't it, that both of the clubs that featured in that grand final are so far winless in 2023. Mind you, they've had some stiff competition. Of course, the Dolphins unlucky with that washed out game in round 1, then coming up against the Devils, and what are the chances that's a draw, do you know what I mean? And then the Burleigh Bears, who have defeated both teams so far, the Devils and the Dolphins. So, yeah, look, they've had tough draws, there's no doubt about it,
Stand and armors. All in.
but still quite an anomaly, isn't it?
So Burleigh Bears bring it away. If the score remains the same here, Taylor, that means the Dolphins in single digits for 2 of their first 3 games in terms of points scored.
Yes, it's unfortunate there for the Dolphins, and they've obviously got a few things that they need to work on. Coach Benteo's going to have a lot of things from not only this game but last week's game to work on before that big match next weekend against the winner Manly Seagulls, who are high flying at the moment, undefeated so far.
The mascot's happy.
Why wouldn't he be?
Stedman onto Pedersen Rabatti. He played a trial in the and trained pre-season with the Recliffe Dolphins. Did Pedersen Rabatti, playing the Dolphins at Host Plus Cup level today. I mean, you know a little bit more about Pedersen Rabatti and his pre-season, being close with the Dolphins, Taylor. What can you tell us?
Yeah, no, he was at the Dolphins in the pre-season after representing at the World Cup, and he obviously found himself a new home down here at the Burleigh Bears, so got himself transferred before the season started. I'm sure today will feel extra sweet there for Pride Pedersen Rabatti. As the Dolphins work it out here from their own end, I don't like to make too many predictions on top 8 sides or even top 4 sides this early, because it's only round 3, so many more things can happen. But I think it's safe to say after the opening couple of rounds, well, the only opening 2 rounds for the Bears, I think this is a force to be reckoned with this year. They were minor premiers last year, and they've already defeated the Devils and the Dolphins in the opening round. So I think it's safe to say the Bears are on track for another great season.
And both these teams, with the transition of new head coaches, and Redcliffe, interestingly, Ben Teo, who was the Hastings Deering Colts coach, did a direct swap with Scott Murray. As Kelly, a little chip and chase by him. Pedersen Rabatti with a speculator to Williams. The boy wonder on debut. Connor Williams has scored. And he'll remember that one. Williams with a spectacular try for the Dolphins.
It took 75 minutes, Drury, but there was a little bit of action there from Albert Kelly and Trey Fuller. Both of them very exciting lads and very exciting ball players when they get their opportunity. Chip and chase here from Albert Kelly. Trey Fuller backing up on the inside. There were numbers everywhere. Kelly touches it, and who else but Dynamis Louis backing up, and the miracle pass over the top gives Connor Williams a try on debut. Hasn't been the most memorable afternoon for Connor Williams, but he does get a try to celebrate his first game here in the Host Plus Cup. Congratulations, Connor.
Congratulations, Connor. A try on debut. Nothing can ever, or no one can ever take that away from him. The conversion was successful, thanks to Containers for Change. We were watching that Macca's replay. There is young Connor Williams. Congratulations on your first ever Host Plus Cup try.
Stay on
And the Dolphins have their second, so 36 points to 10. The score should read as we go down to the sideline for the last time today during play. Here's Adam Jackson.
Yeah, just on Pedersen Rabadi coming on, the reason he's back on the field is Keeney's finally succumbed to that injury he's been carrying the majority of the match. So he came off about 5 minutes ago. He's on the bench, and I think that could be the first time in the history of rugby league that a front rower has replaced a fullback.
No, he doesn't miss a trick, that Adam Jackson.
We should see it more often, AJ. Give the big boys a chance.
And here the Dolphins now down the touchline. McGrady on the inside to Bostock as he tries to get around Saluma with a little trick kick. Francis was there in cover. I was about to say the front rower replacing the fullback. That'd be a bit like you, Taylor, replacing Adam Jackson on the field, I'd imagine.
It would be very similar. AJ, were you a fullback, AJ? You played a bit out the back, did you?
Yeah, winger, halfback, 5'8". Back in the day. Not very good.
Jack of all trades, Adam Jackson.
Yeah, well, there's some versatility there. Perhaps a Kalen Ponga before his time, perhaps.
Surely we get a commentators team. What do you reckon? Me and you in the front row, Drew. We got Warren Bowl, and he's a winger. AJ's the other sting.
And I'm a waste in the middle forwards, mate. You'd want to have me at 5'8", I reckon. Here's Politoni, little kick over the top. Fuller was there. Only 5 out, 5 in from touch with the Dolphins. 36 points to 10. Only a few minutes remaining at best.
So the Dolphins working their way out here. It's a shame we've seen such exciting football for them in the last 5 minutes, and they haven't been able to do that earlier on in the match. Chancing their arm down short sides, taking advantage of all opportunities.
Next Sunday, the action continues on QPlus.tv. KO Freebies N9 now, and we're off to KO Stadium, where the Dolphins will host the Wynnum Manly Seagulls in 4X rivalry round. Coverage live and free from 2 p.m. next Sunday. That is the Dolphins and the Wynnum Manly Seagulls. Of course, the Battle of the Bay, they call it, is that right?
Battle of the Bay, yes.
I just saw Saluma go off the field for the Burleigh Bears. Let's hope he's okay, perhaps just being the luxury they're in thanks to the scoreline. Here's that break thanks to Maccas from the Dolphins, that Tyson Cleo offload, and Tavare now has it for Redcliffe. Coming out of their own end. 36 points to 10 has been all the Bears. They're starting to be a little worse for wear, the Bears, but they'll limp to the finish line in what has been a super impressive performance from Burleigh. I mean, it feels like both sides had their opportunities, Taylor, but there's only one team that took their opportunities today.
Yeah, the Bears have been outstanding at taking their opportunities all afternoon. You're right, Drury, and there's a lot of things to work on for the Dolphins, and we do get to see them next week, so we will see that gradual increase, what they work on during the week there with Ben Teo, but the Bears look very polished. They're led well by a great forward pack.
Louis on the inside to Fuller, and Fuller is through. He's got Hamilton chasing and Stedman, and Francis comes across, and thought he was Brett Hodgson there for a moment. Kelly in 10 metres out now, crossfield kick, left a little to be desired, mind you, and well, it's the comedy of errors at the end. Knock on from Perret. What's Belinda Sharp have to say here? Penalty from the referee going to the Dolphins. So we'll have one last play as Tavare inbound, Patama, Albert Kelly crossfield, the kick, and just a little bit too much on it. And that's all she wrote here at UAA Park this afternoon, Sunday afternoon, Host Plus Cup football, and it's the Burleigh Bears victorious, 36 points to 10, a statement victory, a comprehensive win for the home team over the Recliffe Dolphins.
Yes, it was almost a magical afternoon here for the Bears on the Gold Coast. Completion rate nice and high, forwards running strong through the middle of the park, and the backs with a shine and a polish on the end of everything. There were some really outstanding performances amongst this Bears side, and as I mentioned during the call, I think we're looking at one of the premiership heavyweights once again here in the Burleigh Bears.
6 tries to 2 in the end. 36 points to 10 for the Bears. A double to their Salima. Also tries to Kia, Perret, Schwass, Politoni and Alick, Roberts and Stedman, who took over the kicking duties. They were competent from the get-go. And for the Recliffe Dolphins, 2 late tries going the way of Braden McGrady and the debutant, Connor Williams, Jack Bostock. He was 1 from 2 with the boot. 36 points to 10. And as you mentioned a little earlier, Taylor, well, they've knocked over some big opposition early on in the season, the Bears. And new coach Luke Burt, the former Parramatta fullback, he would be absolutely over the moon with their start to their 2023 campaign.